Hello everyone, Jawtooth again. Hey, I've returned to the Bouncy Bridge. It no longer bounces, but it's still a pretty cool bridge. They fixed it like about a year or two ago, and we've got a train coming right now. We've got a Norfolk Southern westbound train. It's going to have at least one DPU in the middle, maybe two. It'll be a mixed freight, and they're going to be booking. So we're going to check out the Bouncy Bridge and look at what I brought along, the old Bushnell. Let's see how fast that train's going. Go ahead and start the video, son. Here we go. We are at the Bouncy Bridge. After taking a walk through the creek and looking around, it's time to see some trains. Here we go. All right, there the train comes finally. It took hour and a half longer than what I expected, and it was raining, so I had to get in the truck. So I'll make my way back over to the bridge while the train's coming. This will be a good one though. It'll be worth waiting for, even getting wet. Here we go. I don't think it's the same train. The other one stopped. No longer bounces. Wow, that's a huge grain train. There she goes. That was not the train that I came here for. There's the Bouncy Bridge. It doesn't bounce anymore. They got it fixed. Well, I heard on the radio the train that I came here for, they were talking to a dispatcher. This was about an hour and a half ago. And they said that they were running out of time. The crew was running out of time. The dispatcher asked them if they could make it to Winters Road. Winters Road. I have no idea where it's at. I looked on Google Maps. I found the Winters Road up near Eaton, but it didn't look to me like it crossed the railroad track. So I don't know, and it couldn't be that far up. The train had to stop somewhere around Hamilton or Fairfield. Darn, I was wanting to get that train too. It's a huge one, about 2 miles long, with DPUs in the middle and all kinds of freight cars, box cars, everything. Anyways, the sun is coming out, so maybe it's gonna stop raining, and we'll see what else we can get into. I'm over here in Somerville, Ohio, at the graveyard. Shout out to Lunar Equity 1993. Thanks for watching my videos, and happy birthday in a couple months. So thanks for watching my videos. All right, the train I came here for stopped somewhere. I gotta see if I can figure out where it's at. It might be around 7 Mile or south of Hamilton, Fairfield area. I don't know, but I'm near 7 Mile right now. And I am picking up an end of train device on my radio. Oh, I see the train. There it is right there. That's the one I came here for. I went too far, didn't I? See, here's the railroad crossing. The train is right there. Oh, there it is. See it? All right, I want that train. I'm gonna turn around somewhere. Here's the driveway that was on the news. They get blocked whenever trains stop here. There's 2 tracks here. So trains will stop here when they outlaw, and they'll block their driveway, sometimes for hours. So I may not get this train actually, even if I do turn around and go back the other way. Yeah, these people won't have any way in or out. This was on the news, oh, several times. Haven't seen it on TV in a while though. They were on the news quite a bit. I think it was last year. All right, there you go. The driveway where they always get blocked. Here's an interesting railroad crossing. Look at this. This is between 7 Mile and Somerville, and there's a block signal right there. Now, when I came across that just a few minutes ago, I came across this crossing that was on green. So it's on red now. It changed to red, and also I heard something static on my radio. Couldn't tell what they said, but there was a train on the radio. So we definitely have a train coming from that direction right there. All right. So I pulled over right over here. Let's get this train. This is an eastbound train. Here comes the train. That train's really slowing down. They were booking at first. Now they're slowing down. There's a school bus over there. They get to wait for the train. Those kids are lucky. Man, when I was that age, I always wished that my bus would go across the railroad crossing somewhere, because we had a railroad crossing in our township, but all the years I rode the bus, it never went across the tracks. I always hoped every year they'd change my route and have it go across the tracks. There you go. That train was going at a pretty good speed and it slowed way down. It's getting close to where the double track is, or that other train sitting up there, the outlawed train. I saw the signal over there. It was yellow over red. Okay, that was pretty cool. Thanks for watching. But wait, there's more. There always is. I'm sticking with the original plan. Here comes a train over the Bouncy Bridge. It stopped raining. Look at that. Perfect weather right now. Sun came out, no rain. It's been raining off and on all day. Let's see how fast this thing goes. I can see the headlight through the trees just a little bit. Probably can't see it on the camera. Had to walk through the creek to get over here. Stepped on some big rocks. Didn't get wet. All right, this is gonna be awesome. she goes. That bridge is really solid now. I don't think it moves at all, does it? That train was going about 27 miles an hour. Every reading that I did on it was 27, except there was one that said 29. You know, it might have fluctuated a little bit in speed. Well, that was pretty cool. Finally got the train that I came to get. That's the one I was wanting to get. They finally got a crew and left. So it didn't block that driveway very long. Maybe a couple hours, something like that, 2-3 hours at the most. All right, thanks for watching. All right, let's zoom in and do the old rail thing. There you go, it's 136 pounds. That's per yard. I keep getting people correcting me and telling me it's per foot. Google it, it's per yard. Rail is weighed per yard, just the way they measure it. They don't do it per foot. Vacuum treated, that's VT. Rolled in 2010, I think that is. Kind of hard to see. I can't count the dashes for the month, but it looks like maybe 2010. And TZ is the company. I'll list that right below here because I forgot who that is. But I've got a little chart, I can look it up. So there you go. Good size rail. Look at this old tie plate that I found. That thing is old. Probably goes back to the 1800s. You can see where the rail sets on it, and there's only 2 holes for the spikes, one on each side, and that's it. That is a small tie plate. And here's another tie plate. This one's probably 60 or 70 years old. It's a lot bigger than that last one, but still, it's kind of a small plate too. And you can see it's got 2 holes on one side of the rail and 3 on the other side. You can see where the rail sits on that one also. Now let's have a look at a modern tie plate. Look at all these. Tons of them here. Look at that. There's your modern tie plate. Look how big that is. Huge compared to those other ones. So apparently they're going to be doing some major work down here. There's more piles of them over there. Modern tie plates. I love that creek back there behind me. That thing is really cool. There's all kinds of stuff in there. I saw a couple snakes, not today, but I have seen snakes down in there. Let's go to Hamilton and get some more trains. All right, here we go. Hey, you want to see a really cool fire station? Milford Township Fire Department. Look at this. That's cool looking. Built right into the ground. See that? Good for in the summertime. Keeps it nice and cool. Wintertime, it won't get really cold in there. Station 161. And the railroad tracks are just over this way. Let's see. Well, you could see the trains over there if one went by. It wouldn't be a good view. In the summertime, you probably can't see them at all because of the trees. There you go, Milford Township Fire Department. All right, check this out. I'm on my way to Hamilton. I'm going across the railroad crossing here at West 7 Mile. And I noticed the signal, see if it shows up. Red over yellow. All right. Then you look over here where it goes from one track to 2. Right here at the railroad crossing, it's lined up for the siding. So we're gonna have a train. Train's gonna take the siding. Maybe for 2 of them to pass. It's gonna be coming from that direction right there. Actually, I hear it a couple miles away. This is gonna be awesome. All right, here comes the train. And I was just talking to a rail fan who's chasing this train. It's got an N&W Heritage Unit on it. So this ought to be a good one. N&W Heritage Unit. This is the same location where they had that derailment that I filmed about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. The derailment was over on the right-hand side. That field was full of railroad cars. There's probably still some springs and coupler parts and other pieces of metal laying over there. All right, here comes the train. They're coming in kind of slow because they got to take the siding. grain train. Check out the springs. Those covered hoppers are really sharp looking. I don't recall what AOKX stands for. Somebody leave a comment below. Each one of those cars can hold about 113 tons of grain. Each car weighs almost 30 tons. Just think how many trucks this takes off the road. I don't know what that is. This is going to really have the traffic backed up. It's rush hour right now, and this is a really busy highway. I see the end of it coming up. The whole train is hopper cars, covered hoppers. Dispatcher was just talking to a crew. I think they're setting up with me. Well, that was a good one. I lucked into the heritage unit. There they go, diverting onto the siding. That was a good train. N&W unit leading. Got lucky for that. I get people ask all the time, how do I know when these trains are coming? I don't. I rarely ever know. I just show up and see what happens. All right, thanks for watching. That was pretty cool. Alrighty, we do have more. I waited around for about a half an hour for a train to come, thinking there might have been two of them passing there, but nothing ever did show up. So that train went onto the siding, came out the siding on the other end, and continued on towards Cincinnati. So I am now at Heaton Street in Hamilton, and you can probably hear a train coming. We've got a northbound coming. on track 1, the track closest to me. Look at those houses right there. The view they've got. I'd love to spend a whole weekend in one of those houses. I'd stay up on the 2nd floor and I'd keep the windows open. Probably wouldn't sleep much. Okay, let's see what we got. It's a Norfolk Southern train on the CSX. I think it said train 137. Oh, listen to this. Oh, we got us a runner. Yeah. Good job. I thought too much light. North Dakota Mill. Miller since 1922. Hey, there's another train coming on track 2. It's 1.7 miles away. We got another one coming. It's coming in the opposite direction. That loud car with the square wheel was making so much racket. You couldn't hear my scanner, but there's another train coming. see you. Cool. Now is that cool or what? Wow, perfect timing. That was perfect timing. That was pure luck. That was pretty cool. You can still see that DPU. That was for this train right here. $378 axles on this train. That defect detector is 1.7 miles away. So you can tell how long this train is. I measured the distance today. Look at that. I can see right through that one car. You can tell it's empty. There's another one you can see through. Well, I couldn't see through that one, but not as good as the other one.
Access 520. End of transmission.
That was the first train that went by. On the track closest to me, it just went past the defect detector. The rear of the train just went past it. Barrel mix. Cool. They don't really look very old either. There you go. Yeah, I wish I could spend a night or two in one of them houses on the second floor. That would be great. Listen to trains all night long. Get woke up early in the morning with trains. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, that was pretty good. All right, thanks for watching. I got lucky there right at the end. 2 trains passing, perfect timing. Perfect timing on that one. Hey, if you have time, check out one of my videos. I got a long drive home, and every view helps pay for the gas. All right, we got the live action pets coming up in the slideshow, so we'll see you later. Coming to you from up in Hamilton, Ohio. that cool.